Hi everyone, Badraven here today. I'm kind of getting a little late start on my Fanboy Expo Knoxville 2017 review, I guess, of going down there with my son Andrew to see some celebrities. But this video is going to, I'm going to tell you about my trip, and I got some footage shot down there with the video. Not a big lot of footage, but maybe 5 minutes or so. I filmed the outside and then some of the stuff going on inside. So this was in Knoxville at the convention center down there where they had the World's Fair back in the 80s. And we wanted to go down there because my son is a big Karate Kid fan. And I turned him on to the Karate Kid movies. He watched Karate Kid, the remake, back when he was little. And he thought that was a good movie, which it's okay. And I told him that it was a remake, and he wanted to see what the original was. And when he watched it, and his niece and nephew Chloe and Nathan watched it, they really thought the original Karate Kid was the bomb. So when we found out, I guess it's probably about 4 or 5 months ago, that they were going to have a Fanboy Expo, which we had never heard of before. They've had several there, but we kind of looked at who was going to be there, and we saw that Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid himself, was going to be there. So he really wanted to, and I really wanted to go there and get his autograph and to talk to him, because we really loved his movie. If you get a chance to go see him, go see him. Him and William, I can't pronounce his last name, I'll put it up here, but played the bad guy Johnny. We met him too. Really super nice guy too. Really great to talk to. Go see him too if he's ever close to you, because like I told Andrew, you never know when you'll get a chance to meet him again, because they could quit doing cons, or they could not be back in this area for a long period of time, and you might not be able to have the schedule to go see them. So that's why we definitely made it there. See, I worked the night before. I worked the weekend, and I had only like 3 or 4 hours sleep, and Andrew and I loaded up, and we got down there by 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. for the opening, and that place was packed. I don't know if it's as busy as it's ever been but it was lined up outside the building, and we thought that was long at 10 o'clock, but later on we looked at around 12, and it was even bigger a line. So at $33 a pop, they made a lot of money, definitely. We got there at 10, and we went straight on down and to get into Ralph Macchio's line, because we figure he'll be packed all day, and he was supposed to do a panel and all that kind of stuff. So we got down there first, and his line was a little longer than William's line to play Johnny. So we went ahead and got his line first, and we met him, and he was super awesome. Very friendly guy. I was really nervous meeting him, and I said something about, I said, I remember watching your movie back in the 80s, and I was a teenager. And he said, hey, I was a teenager too. And it dawned on me that, he was young too during that time, even though I knew he was, but I didn't know for sure if he was a teenager, because some actors, I know Ralph Macchio was in his 20s, I think, when he made the first Karate Kid and played a teenager. So Johnny was, or William, that played Johnny, was the bad guy of the Cobra Kai's, was a teenager also. So it was kind of strange, he said that, and he cut up with us, and he signed our we got the poster behind me here. We got it signed, and Andrew wanted him to pick, Andrew wanted certain lines to be put on the poster. So I told him that he wanted him to put an enemy deserves no mercy, because Andrew really liked that line in the movie. So he put that on there for him, and it was a great experience. He took pictures with both of us, him separately and me and Andrew together. And like I said, I can't say enough good things about him. He was a really, really, really nice guy. We got in Ralph Macchio's line, and we got up there, and he greeted us and everything. and Andrew wanted him to sign what he said to Mr. Miyagi in the part where he got the yellow car. He said, "You're the best friend I ever had" to Mr. Miyagi. So he wanted him to put to Andrew, "You're the best friend I ever had," and he put down the bottom of it Danielson, which was cool. And he was kind of comparing the signatures from the bad guy William that we just got signed. It said "The enemy deserves no mercy," and "You're the best friend I ever had." He said, "Look," he said, "this is mean. He's saying all this mean stuff, and I'm saying this nice stuff." And then we just kind of cracked up, and he gave us a big hug, like, when we was in the picture. He really got us close together, me and Andrew, and we took a picture, and it felt really like he, really cared. And both of them shook our hands afterwards. I didn't know if they would shake our hands because they have to shake so many people's hands, and I knew that they would probably want to be, always touching everybody, but they were very, very friendly guys. And some people say, well, they're friendly because they're paying them money. But, besides that, I would never get to meet them any other way. So to pay a few dollars for their time, they're taking their time out there to be with the fans. So I think that was very well worth the money. Some people may not be, but I thought it was well worth the money. And I got a signature to last us and a story to tell about it for the rest of our lives. So I really appreciate both of them, and Ralph and William. I really appreciate both of you treating my child and me as good as you did. But getting back, that was the awesome part too, So we got that done early. But Andrew wanted to go to a Power Ranger panel, so we had time to kill for that to happen around 3 or so. So we were looking around, and the cosplay, I have to say the cosplay wasn't awesome. The cosplay were okay, but wasn't a big variety. I saw a few different cosplays, and I try to write them down here so I can remember which ones they were. This one was cool. They had in the Karate Kid where Daniel dresses up like a shower in the Halloween scene because he don't want to be seen by the bad guys, so he could go to the Halloween party to be with Allie, the actress played by Elizabeth Shue. And so Mr. Miyagi made him a shower costume so he could close it up and not be seen. So there was a girl cosplaying as a shower, and I got a picture at the end of this video you can see of that. It was really cool. I didn't get the real close up, but I kind of blew up the picture. And there was a guy dressed up like Thanos, and he was standing there, and he was letting me take a picture. I was kind of far off, and I took it, and he gave me the thumbs up to see if I'd got the picture right, and I gave him thumbs up. So he was really cool, and I got a picture of him too at the end of this video. So stay and watch the end of the video because I got some pictures and videos of what had happened and pictures at the very end of the con. And there was a few guys dressed up like Wolverine, which I didn't take their pictures. But that Darth Vader, I took his, and I've seen him I've had plenty of pictures of Darth Vader from when we went to Disney and everything. So it was just neat to see a very, very accurate costume. I think maybe he would probably I don't know if he was just a regular person there or they paid him to be there because his costume was 100% authentic. And I was kind of going to tell you about all the different people that were there. They had C. Thomas Howell, and they did an outsider panel with Ralph Macchio, but I didn't go to that. I think the Karate Kid was canceled. Their panel was canceled till later in the day, and we went in there. Then I had to get back to work. They had Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk. I saw him from afar, and he is big and huge, just like you would think he would be. I didn't get to talk to him or nothing. I ran out of money for that kind of stuff. And they had the Power Rangers. I can't believe they had Jason David Frank and the girl that played Kimberly, the Pink Ranger. Jason David Frank was the Green Ranger and the White Ranger and a few other Rangers in the past. I'm not a big Power Ranger fan. My son is, and he kept an eye on them, and their line stretched back forever. And I couldn't believe how popular they still are, for these older TV shows. My niece and nephew back in the day, Jesse and Lucas and my other nephew Mark, all liked them back in the 90s. I wish they could have been there. They would have really enjoyed that. But they had a panel, and I'll tell you about it later. But they were very, very packed at their table, so they made plenty of money, I'm sure. They had the Chips guys from Chips. Didn't have Eric Estrada; he couldn't make it. But they had the other two. I don't know their names right offhand. Lonnie Anderson was there, but I could not get even close to her booth to even see what she looked like now. I figured she'd be older because she was. She should be getting up in age. I was just going to see how she held up, but I couldn't see her. And let's see. One thing I didn't like, definitely at the con, it was kind of disorganized. I mean, we were trying to find out where the Power Ranger panel was, and we couldn't find the info desk at first. And we was like going around, couldn't find any place where it said info. And finally, one of the security guards, I asked him, I said, where's the panel at? And he said, go ask at the info desk. It's over on the other side. We went on the other side, and there was an info desk right down in the bottom where all the people were signing at. And it was just like, I asked the woman there, and she was like, oh, because on the list it just had the panels, but it didn't say what rooms they were in. It said the times, but didn't say where they were at. So she said they would tell you ahead of time where to go. So I never did hear them ever say a time for it. So she told us where she thought it would be. We went and sat down there, and I just so happened when we were sitting there, I saw the two guys from Star Trek, one guy that plays Data, and the one that played Worf. They were walking by with their handlers going to their panel, so I kind of followed them upstairs, and I looked, and they had like a little entrance there, and it had showed all the other panels that were going to be there, and evidently they was using that one room for all the panels, and one emptied out, the next one would start and stuff like that. So I took Andrew, and we got in line in the general audience line, and had to wait. And we were at the beginning of the general audience line, and then there was a VIP line. And it was a little tiny line at the beginning when we waited about an hour and a half early. And as the show got closer and closer for the Power Rangers, the VIP line got very long, but so was the general audience. But we were able to, even though they let the VIP in before us, because they emptied the room out after Star Trek, and we got to go in there, and we still got in the third row right in the center. So I was really happy that Andrew got to see them up close, and it was a great panel. And even though I don't know anything about Power Rangers besides what Andrew's told me and what little I've watched with him, but like I said, he's the fan. But anyway, that was just the disorganization. It was just like they didn't have everything organized. And Gene Simmons was there. I didn't see him, but his line for his photo op or whatever for his fans stretched forever. And I think the VIP still had to wait a long period of time to even get their signatures and stuff with him. So he really packed the place also. Let me try to think. Also, there was a guy, his last name was Hurst, and he was added, I think, the last, and he maybe not have been added the last, but he was on the Son of Anarchies or something like that. And I know people was taking videos of the other people's in the where they were signing their autographs and stuff. So I just started videotaping everybody, how big the lines were and how many different people were there. And everybody let me record because I wasn't right up on them. I was in the back, and you'll see some from my video footage. But when I got over to him, some guy standing there said, "Oh, no filming, no filming." Like that was going to be a great copy of the picture anyway, that me filming from 100 foot back or so, or 75 foot, and him standing there. And I mean, I didn't really want him. I was just showing everybody in the whole section. So I had to quit recording that part. But everybody else had no problem. The other people had no problem with me just recording, because other people were doing it too and taking pictures, which were far off. You'd have to have a really good camera to zoom in and get a really fine picture. It was, my camera didn't do any justice of people far off. But I just thought that was very disappointing that he done that. I mean, I didn't want his autograph anyway. He might be a great guy, wants what he wants money wise, I guess. But I didn't like that. And I also didn't like what Sting did. Sting had everybody else was out in the open, and Sting, which I didn't know at the time, was dressed in his character, and I think he was only there for like 3 hours. But he had a big, humongous black curtain all around his booth. And even the line, when you go into the line, you couldn't see back in there to even see him. So you had to wait in his line, and then you had behind these curtains to take pictures with a black backdrop and all that stuff around. Yeah, I thought that was very tacky. I thought that was just, and he was already charging $60 an autograph. I can imagine the picture probably made $100. And I'm not saying not all other ones didn't charge high prices either, but I mean, to screen yourself off, I don't know if he just didn't want people to take pictures because he was in his outfit, his wrestling outfit, his Sting outfit, or whatever. He's just him in his big trench coat and a big black bat. And I like Sting. I always thought he was a great wrestler and everything. And maybe that was just a way to make sure everybody paid their money to see him. And I understand they're taking their time out and they want all the money they can get out of it because that's what the name of the game is. I understand. But I just didn't like the way that was done. But I guess you could say Gene Simmons, he had his own separate room, I guess, because I never saw him down on the floor, but they said he did come down on Friday. I only saw C. Thomas Howell. I didn't talk to him. He was right beside Ralph Macchio. I did see him. He had a big beard. Made him look very much older. And I could tell it was him in his face, but it did make him look very much older with the big, big beard like ZZ Top, but it wasn't quite as long as ZZ Top, but it was big. But they had a lot of stars there, a lot of people, and the venue, which you were like, you come in the top of the convention, it was like the venue was down in the bottom floor. You kind of come in on the second floor, and they did that so everybody had to have a band, because you could get in there and not buy a ticket to the actual show and do your cosplay and all that, and not actually go into the convention. I understood why they put it down there, and they was always hollering at you, show your band, show your band. So it was just like, though, that the place was, it was a huge place, don't get me wrong, even where they had the where people were, but they had these stars and stuff on the outskirts of the room all the way around, and some artists and stuff like that, but the big stars were toward the back. And it was like, with all the stuff they were selling and stuff, it kind of got very congested in there, and people was trying to cosplay, and it was just, sometimes when you had the lines, they would back up into where they were selling stuff. It was hard to get around. And 1 second, the lights went completely out for like a minute, and everybody started kind of screaming. Then the emergency lights came on for a second, then the lights came back up. I still don't know what happened during that part, but it was just kind of packed. I don't know if they're going to need a bigger place next time or what. And I wish they would use more rooms for their panels. But I know it costs them money to use different panels, different rooms, rent more rooms. But it was a big area, but it was just so much, crammed in there, even though it was huge. So I wish, in a way, that it had a little more room. But I know it was Saturday and everybody was out. It was warm weather, and everybody wanted to get out and have a good time. So I understand this. But still, we had a great time. It was $33 to get in, like I said, a piece, and it was not counting autographs and all that stuff, but it was a great time for me and Andrew. We would go back in a heartbeat if there was any other people that we want to see maybe next year. And I hear they do like a fall one too. So if Scarefest doesn't have somebody I really want to see down there, I might go to theirs for their fall one. So I'm going to show you our signatures of what they put on it, and then I'll go to the video after this. So, but just, it's a classic poster of the Karate Kid and everything like that. But the first signature we got was from Johnny William. I can't pronounce his last name. Starts with a Z. I posted it earlier. But he put, Andrew, an enemy deserves no mercy. And there's his signature. Super great guy. I would recommend you getting his autograph when you get to a con. He's super nice, super talkative fella. I think you would really appreciate him. And of course, you got to have on a Karate Kid poster, you have from Ralph Macchio, Andrew, you're the best friend I ever had. And he signed it there, and then he put Daniel's son underneath. I was sorry about that light in the background, but that is so cool the way he put that in parentheses. And like I said, he's awesome too. definitely get his signature. And I'll never know if I'll ever be able to see these guys together again, signing them, so we have it for permanent record. And we are very, very glad we got it. Hats off for the Knoxville Expo for getting those two and all the other ones they got too. All right, I'll let you go here. This video is probably running long. I'll probably have to edit some things out. But I'd like to say thank you to my thank you to the Badraven fans, and that we appreciate you, and we'll let you go, and we'll talk to you later. Goodbye. Hello everybody, Badraven at the big expo here at Fanboys. Just got our autograph signed today by Ralph Macchio, and it's the bad guy against him. I'd like to say we're gonna have some more footage on this side, so stay tuned. Okay, Badraven fans, we're done with the expo today. We just got done seeing who, Andrew?
Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson, Power Ranger people, and we also saw Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, and Johnny.
Yeah. Yep, we got to go through the panel.
Yeah.
And we got to
it was cool.
see, listen to all their good stories, and it was awesome.
And I got this.
And we got a picture.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super, Goku Black.
Yes. So we're heading to our car now, and we'll be talking to you later on. We're gonna make us a video, and it'll be out for all the Badraven fans.
Yeah.
So we'll let you go and talk to you later. Bye.